All right, welcome everybody. My name is Philip Anglade, and you're here with FX Pro now. Today is September, so it's a new month, September 2nd, 2018. And I'm excited because with a new month comes a new candle, and we can be able to actually look at the monthly and see exactly how this last monthly has closed. And we see, if anything, some buyers exhaustion over here. And if I was just to pull out my fibs over here, and right now what we're looking at is the DXY. And the DXY, as we know, is the US dollar. And I tend to look at this at the beginning of the week mostly, not really like during the week too much, but at the beginning of the week just to see how things are forming on the dollar, because that's mostly like my what I'm really focusing on. So as we could see, it's in between 38.2 and 50%. I wouldn't be surprised. There'll probably be a last push to the upside, probably get to the 50%. If not, it could probably even just stall out right now, being the fact that it's literally, as far as on the monthly, this monthly candle has closed on this monthly key level right here. So that's just my perspective. It could push up and then break through it, or it could even push through. I guess we'll see as the next candles start to form. So here's the thing, guys. Like, if you don't have TradingView, what I would definitely suggest is to get TradingView. Like, you need it. It's like a carpenter trying to have a job, building buildings, but he has no tools. Like, you won't be able to work. Right? So you need TradingView, and you need to buy the platform. It could be the cheapest version. It's just so that you can be able to save your charts. Because if you're not able to save your charts, like, I don't know how you could be able to actually mark up and stuff like that. So if anything, you get the cheapest version. I think it's like $10.90, like $9.99 or something like that. Or even if it was $20, whatever it is, right? I have the middle package because I want more charts. On the first one, you can be able to get 5 charts. So if you don't know how to get TradingView, you don't know really where to start, you can click on the link below. I'm actually going to put the TradingView link so you can be able to just get TradingView. Just look for exactly how to be able to sign up, and I think it's going to be worth it for you. Okay, so we're looking at DXY, and then from there, we're just going to go to the daily, and let's continue. So what do we see on this daily? So what I see here is the fact that price got to this trend line over here, and that trend line was drawn based upon this higher time frame over here. And it could be a trend line already. It may not, but I drew it for now just to show if price does continue, then it's definitely a trend line. And as we can see here, price has definitely engulfed this weekly candle, definitely engulfed, not that much, but engulfed this candle right here, which is a big deal. And this one right here had some sort of seller's exhaustion, but I wouldn't be surprised it will continue to the downside. And I guess we'll see as we continue our days here. Because if I was to put my fibs from point A to point B down here, price gets exactly to 50%. Kind of correlates with this trend line right here. So I wouldn't be surprised it's going to be a continuation to the downside. So what I'm saying is the US dollar will probably be weaker, causing pairs like EU, AU to, if anything, start going up, and UJ and UCAD to start going down, maybe. But we'll have to look at the charts to be able to even say something like that. So let's go down to the daily, and let's see what we have here. And mind you, that's based upon a weekly perspective, not a right now perspective. But what I do is I envision, okay, what may happen in the future before I start my week, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put my fibs right here, point A, and I'm going to put it at this bottom candle right here, right? This bottom over here. And what I see here is the fact that price may reach this 38.2, right? It may keep on pushing forward towards, this 50%. I don't know, but for now, based upon the daily time frame, it is an uptrend. Okay, based upon the daily time frame, it is an uptrend, and based upon the weekly time frame, I'll call it a downtrend based upon this specific. No, it's an uptrend. Based upon the weekly, it's an uptrend. I was to look all the way back here, based upon the weekly, actually, I gotta check. Let's see. Boom, boom. Let's see if that got to 38.2. It didn't really get to 38.2, so I'm just gonna call this an uptrend. Yeah, this is definitely an uptrend now. All right, so weekly, it's an uptrend, and on the daily, it is an uptrend as well. So that's to keep in mind. So weekly, daily, uptrend. So now let's go down to the H4, right, and see what's going on. Right, and prices literally exactly at this monthly key level right here, right? And you know, the market hasn't opened up for the US dollar as of yet, but from what I see here, you know, price has broken structure on this lower time frame based upon the H4 time frame, and it's probably going to continue to the upside, you know, a little further up, causing, and I'll just put it to you like this, causing pairs like EU to push down, right? AU to push down, UJ to push up, and UCAD to push up. Right? So that's that, right? So this is just, you know, things that I'll write down. Okay, so DXY, DH4, up. Daily is up. Weekly, up. Right? Stuff like that. Okay. And so that's what I have on this one. I don't really have to go into further depth on this. It's just so that we know where the trend is going based upon this US dollar. So now what I'll do is now I'm going to go into the actual pairs itself. So now we're looking at XAU USD. Now we can't really say, okay, because DXY is doing this, this is going, you know, gold is going to do this, or EURUSD is going to do this. We still have to look, but a general perspective is the fact that this is what DXY is doing. So this may be the case, and it may just you know, help in the future. So when it comes to gold, what I had was, and we've been in this buy for a little bit now. All right, I don't know exactly how many pips I'm up. I didn't look as of yet. But my general perspective is the fact that price was going to get to this 38.2. So let's you'll be able to see it from here. So from point A all the way up here, point B down here, 38.2 being here, you know, I just figured that price would probably get to this point. So, you know, I'm in just a short-term buy, which is still a lot of pips when it comes to gold, right? So price may continue to the upside, and this, you know, a good amount of pips. Beautiful. We're up right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say, based upon, you know, what you know, price has been telling me based upon this daily, you know, good push up. Has it really pushed up that far before? It hasn't for a while. It hasn't had that push up since back here when price was in uptrend at one point in time. Okay, so let's look at the H4, see how it's forming, right? And what we see is the fact that a higher high has formed a true breaker structure based upon the H4 time frame. And you know, as long as price doesn't pass this area right here, as long as price does not pass this area right here, then, you know, based upon the higher time frame, like the H4, which is a very important time frame, then I'll, you know, continue that buy. But let's look at the H1. Let's look at the H2 to see how this is forming. And a second perspective could be right here. If price, you know, passes this point, then it can probably continue to the downside. But if price continues to stay above this price, and especially if price passes this area right here, then it creates a higher high based upon this H2 time frame. Then I will continue my buys to the upside towards this 38.2 Fibonacci line. So my specific take profit is still 1240 when it comes to gold. All right, so EURUSD, and on this one right now, I think I'm up 140 pips on this one, if I'm not mistaken. Anywhere from 120 to 140 pips on this specific one right here. I don't know what's going on. It's not loading for me. Okay, there it goes. All right. And at any point in time, you know, just let you know, we have a schedule, right? Our schedule is every Tuesday and Thursday. I'm doing session 1 and 2, which is mostly like the basics and more intermediate and stuff like that. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm doing it on YouTube. So you can be able to log into our YouTube, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just know Tuesdays and Thursdays I'm going to be on sharing, you know, the basics. And 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday, I'm going to be going over Tuesday and Thursday. I'm going to be going over what we call session number 2, which is the red, blue cloud method that I created, where, you know, a lot of people are having a lot of success when it comes to, you know, short-term bursts in the market, 10 pips, where we can be able to get 10 pips 90% of the time. And it's working beautifully. I'm getting testimonies all the time. So again, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is going to be the basics, pips, locks, risk management, you know, how to build your account, you know, figuratively. And then from there, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going over a simple strategy, 10 pips, 90% of the time. It's a surefire way to be able to actually get into the market. If you've never traded by yourself before, this is a simple way to be able to do so. Now, what I have on Wednesdays is where I'm actually going over a recap of me doing the Sundays this week in the market. So Wednesday, you can be able to see me live straight on YouTube. Again, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesdays, you'll be able to catch me. Okay, so that's my schedule, and you already know Sundays. You're always going to be able to see, you know, a video capturing what I believe the market is probably going to deliver when it comes to this specific week right now. So now we're back in here, and what we see is the fact that on the daily, and mind you, this was like a perfect entry, man, like beautiful. So I forget exactly what week it was, but oh, if anything, it was probably last week's this week in the market. I was saying, okay, you know, perfect entry when it comes to EURUSD, get in right now, and I did. And the thing is, price just kept on pushing forward, and I'm like, what the heck? So it hit my stop loss, and that's okay, because, you know, like, that's what, you know, that's why we have stop loss. So, you know, I entered literally all the way up here, right? And I was in profit for a while. And if you were to watch episode 3, the recap of episode 3, I explained, hey, listen, price is probably going to have a little, it's probably going to have a tough time getting past this level, but definitely past this level. And what did price do? Continue pushing up, as we can see here, right? And we actually have our winner of our one-on-one here. So welcome, brother. So I'm almost done with this. All right, bro. And let me know if you need any help. You sure? Okay. All right. So price continued to push forward, and price found a level of resistance that was pushed over here, and that right there gave me a clear indication. Okay, price is most likely going to stop here, especially the fact that, you know, price started to push down, and that's cool. But the fact that price pushed up and then started creating more lows based upon the lower time frame, that's what really got to me, where I was like, okay, yeah, this is a perfect entry. And you know, I got in over here at this point right here, and again, this is at the level of resistance that was kept on being formed over here. And right now we're up. So price continue to push down, and we'll go to the if anything, H2, right? Price got to this level right here, and I explained, hey, listen, price is probably going to start to push down and push up, and that's exactly what price did. It didn't push down as far as I thought it would, which is okay. You know, price pushed up, created these candles right here, and you know, anytime that you see some candles like this and then it closes like this, it's going to keep on pushing down. That's exactly what it did. And then I explained, hey, listen, price is probably going to have a hard time to push through this supply and demand zone, and look what it has done. Price may push up just a little further, maybe, but definitely I see the continuation of this downtrend. And then ultimately, my take profit for this has been on 1.12 for a while, and that's still my take profit. Now, why is that my take profit? It's mostly because that's where my monthly key level is, but then also if I were to, let's put these fibs right here. So let's say if it was like right here, point A, point B, and what we see is the fact that negative 27% gets to this level, and mind you, it was even closer at one point in time. But of course, we'll still monitor our trades, and you know, my take profit is still this area right here, and we see some type of you know, consolidation in this area, but I still see the continuation of this downside, the downside push. You know, another thing that I could be able to say is point A, point B, point C 38.2. So it actually created a true lower high, and I see the continuation to this downtrend. If anything, probably even continue to this negative 61.8. So remember, I said September 2nd, 2018. The US dollar is going to be just as strong as the euro at some point in time, pretty soon. All right, so let's go to AU. And what we see with AU is the fact that there's a continuation of this downside move. And if anything, you want to watch what I'm doing, or yeah, okay. Yeah, no, you're good. So continuation of this downside move, right, on the daily. And I see the continuation of this downside, especially the fact that there's a really large bearish candle that engulfs this whole section right here, creating another low. So a low slow based on the daily, right? And let's go to the H4. So I wouldn't be surprised price may start to push up and create a higher lower high at some point in time. It may not be right now, but it may. We just have to watch what price is going to do. But I am in the sell here. And as far as my take profit, let me see what my take profit is. I think I actually have a really far take profit. If I'm not mistaken, I think my take profit is at the 68.3 level, being the fact that this was the last low that was formed based upon this weekly, and the fact that price is a continuation of the downside, and price just wanted to make a lower high, and it's making a really nice continuation of that downside move. So if I'm not mistaken, I think my take profit is at the 68.3, but mind you, that's a far push. But that's where I'm at right now when it comes to AU. And let's go to GJ. All right, so with GJ, right, where we're at right now is the fact that price got to the 78.6. So this is probably going to be a slow push to the downside, and this is based on the daily time frame. Point A, point B, 78.6, continuation of the downside move. And we'll go to the H4 time frame. We see the continuation of that downside move, and I know for sure I'm in profit on this one as well. I don't know exactly how much I'm in profit though. So downside move right here. Just take this up. And yeah, this is just a continuation of the downside. So I think the fibs that I already had on here is sufficient. So the 78.6 is probably just going to be a slow push to the downside. Let's put on the 78.6. 78.6, I see the continuation of the downside. So my take profit on this one is at the 140.77. And I think I have a second trade open there. Yeah, this is actually where I have right here as far as the 128, the 129. If I'm not mistaken, I think I have a small lot size to go to 129. And here's why. Price all the way up here at the 100% level, right? Point A, and mind you, this is based on the weekly time frame. So it's going to take a little while to get down there. This is based on the weekly time frame. So we have point A all the way up here. Point B, price got into the middle of 38.2 and 50%, created a trend line opportunity that we could be able to draw, and then price was literally hovering on that for a while. So let's go down to the daily. Price was hovering on top of there for a while, and price didn't get all the way up there as of yet. So I see the down push, probably even the same type of down push like this, right? The same like this, same like this, a real strong one. Price may fill this gap right here. Price may fill that gap right there, and then continuation of that downside push. But I just see the fact that price is most likely going to continue to this area right here, the 129. All right, so that's GJ. And then from here, and understand, if you didn't have TradingView, you know, it's almost impossible to be able to, you know, keep up with this type of stuff. All right, so when it comes to UJ, price finally broke out of this level right here, but it hasn't passed this high, right, based upon this daily. So price may continue to the upside. It may not, because this is the last high based upon the daily. Let's go to the H4 and see how this is forming on the lower time frames. All right, so price has created so it definitely broke structure based upon the H4 time frame, right? And if price continues to make more highs and pass this level right here, and that's why I have the supply and demand zone over here. And if anything, this supply and demand zone, I guess, is okay. It should actually be this one right here, but I think both of these are still sufficient. If anything, I'll just push this one a little higher. So price may have a hard time pushing through this area right here. If anything, it's going to have a hard time to push through a lot of these areas right here to continue the upside push. So it's going to have a hard time to continue to push through this area right here. But if anything, we'll just still monitor this. I am on the buy on this one right here. I got in on that really, really, really great great entry on this one down here. So, you know, I'm still fine because my stop loss is real tight. So if I lose on this one, it continues to the downside, cool. If anything, I'll just stay away from UJ for a little bit because it's still been acting weird. It's been doing this for the last 6 weeks. So I am in the buy on this one, and if it continues that upside push, great. If it doesn't, you know, it's okay. So let's go to UCAD. How you doing, bro? No. Yeah. So again, we got our winner over here. You excited for the one-on-one, bro? Oh yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. All right. Yeah. All right. So as this is loading up, I'm on FIU's internet. Yeah. So when it comes to UCAD, man, UCAD is a really strange pair. But right now, what I see here is the fact that it's on this trend line. I wouldn't be surprised. You know, I'm just gonna remark up this entire chart and really start from scratch when it comes to UCAD. But if anything, I'm just gonna take this one off right here. I'm going to edit my trend line right here. And you know, if it breaks through this again, then cool. You know, I just personally haven't really traded on UCAD, to tell you the truth. So I'm just gonna let you know what I see. What I see here is the fact that let's see if this was a so let's see how it forms on the longer time frames. So yeah, as far as point A, point B, 61.8, right? Now, why is that important? Because I want to know how these are forming, right? What is a lower high? What is a higher low and stuff like that? So that's definitely not one. So this one sort of is 38.2. So essentially it did break structure on the H2 time frame, right? So maybe it's a continuation of the upside. I would just want it to truly, finally, pass this area over here, right here, like really, really pass this area over here. If price passes through this area over here, then it may be the continuation of the upside. But when it comes to UCAD, it's just been a weird pair for me personally. So it's still technically a downtrend, technically. So you can do two things on this one. And mind you, it did break this area, but it wasn't like a clear break. Like, what is this? All right. So it wasn't like a clear break. So if anything, my bias based upon what the higher time frames are telling me, that the fact that the H4 is technically a downtrend, but that's just the H4, because if you were to look at the daily is showing uptrend. So maybe this was the perfect buy opportunity, maybe, to be able to continue that upside push right here that I drew out like 3 weeks ago or so. But I'm just not really going to give any type of advice on this one right here today. So this is my, I'm pretty proud of this one right here. So right now, I just looked, I'm up 7,000 pips. That's why, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm up 7,000 pips. 7,000 pips. And mind you, so look, I'm letting you know, on the chart breakdown, I think it was number 24. I put that out, I think 2 weeks ago, something like that. Chart breakdown number 24. I think it was like a 4-minute long talk, and it was on a Saturday. I was just bored. I was like, let me look at Bitcoin. I want to do something. And I looked at Bitcoin, and I'm like, I wonder. So I just put in a buy, just to put it in, right? And all I saw was this. This is all I saw. I went to the H4 time frame, and I saw something very, very simple. It was stupid, but it was simple. All I saw was the fact that, okay, over here, I saw that, oh, my EMA and SMA are crossing. When was the last time it crossed to the upside? So I looked. I saw it there. And where did it go? It went to that trend line. Where's that trend line formed? The trend line was formed based upon this daily time frame right here. And price has been respecting that, over and over and over. So I'm like, you know what? F it. The risk to reward on this is just $2 grand, too large. So I'm gonna say, you know what? Price, crossed over here. Price is crossing right here for the first time. The last time, what did it do? It pushed to this. What do I think is gonna happen? Push to that. So I entered all the way over here, 2 different trades. Decent lot size. The first take profit was right here at 71.20, past that area. The second one is right here. So I'm just gonna show you. I entered right here, right where that cross. The first one, take profit.
7,003.
Yeah, and right now, oh, it's a little higher than I thought. So that's where the take profit is right there. I think it's at 7,400. So after this closes, I have no idea what Bitcoin is doing. I have no idea at all. Because the thing is, that trend line right there is really, really, really strong. So if it breaks through there, oh man, that's a big push. And I hope you're holding Bitcoin. If it doesn't and it pushes down again, stack up on Bitcoin. Or just if it doesn't break this trend line, I see price breaking this level of support. And if it breaks that level of support, oh man, Bitcoin is going to be so cheap. It's going to be lower than $5,000 if it. But I don't know. This is just just I don't know. All I know is, if price bounces off this and continues to the downside and breaks that level of support, that's a big deal for Bitcoin, because the next low is $3,000. Next low after that is $2,000. The next low after that, it's getting less than $1,000, and that's gonna be pretty interesting. Yeah, you might as well, because the risk to reward is just stupid. All right. But I would just stock up on Bitcoin and gold at the same time. Just like that. All right, so I really appreciate your time, guys. Hopefully it's helped you out in some type of way, right? I'm actually going to get to our one-on-one right now with my boy Frank, and I'm really excited to be able to help you guys out. Maybe you'll win the next one-on-one. How are you going to be able to get access to the one-on-one? So this is how it's going to work. You got to go through the beginner section, but it's not going to be just the beginner section anymore. You have a month this time. Before, it was only about like less than a week or something like that. Now you have a month to go through the basic, the beginner video, session 1 through 3. And then from there, what you're going to do is you're going to go to the advanced, right? You're going to go to the advanced section, and then you're going to watch the chart breakdowns, right? So you're going to watch them. Any video that you start, like it, so that you know that you started it, right? Like it right away. And then from there, comment something as it's going on at the end, what you've learned, what didn't make sense, whatever it is, so that it can be able to help me and also can be able to help you as well, right? So I can be able to answer you. So I'm telling you guys, like, these are gold, right? And if anything, definitely watch the Sundays this week in the market as well, obviously. So if anything, I'll see you guys Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for session number 1, and then 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for session number 2, so that we can be able to go through the basics and get some tips together. So really appreciate your time, and I'll see you on YouTube. Live on YouTube. So if anything, I'm gonna put up the actual video, and just click on the button where you can be able to get the notification, so that you can be able to so you can be able to set an alarm for yourself. All right. See you guys soon, and let's get it. Let's become FX Pro now. Bye bye.
Good night, guys.
Yeah, let's get it.